All right, what up, world? This is Brian Wright. This is Courage to Change. I'm with Tom Pace, man. It's been a long time trying to get this guy, uh, get it because his time is always sucked up. He's so busy. He's the author of Mentor, the Kid, and the CEO. The book I highly recommend. He is owner of Pace Butler and Associates. Um, you also have a property management business.
I own real estate.
Owns real estate, and you don't know this, or I might have told you before, but I read your book when I was in Cleveland County. I like to call it Cleveland County Daycare. Back when I was serving like a 40-day stint, and it sparked a fire in me to want to change my life. And when I read about the purpose-driven life life group, small group, and the mentoring, I was provoked to take action in my own life, and so and then meeting you and becoming a part of Purpose Driven Life small group has added so much quality to my life, and just knowing you and the people that you've mentored along the way, that inspire me and help me do life. We do life together. So a question I have for you is, first of all, what inspired you to write the book?
God never wants us to waste a hurt. And so I'd been through a lot of stuff, and I'd learned a lot, and I wanted to share how I got through it and the kind of things that, the kind of actions that I take in order to be successful. And so we just came from a purpose-driven life group,
Right.
and had my dad, who's 88 years old, with us, and we just dropped him off at the they call it an assisted living place, but I'd call it a nursing home. And he's got his own room, he's not just like in a hospital bed or something. But so we dropped him off, and now we're on our way to a drug and alcohol treatment center to kind of see if we can help and inspire some of the guys that are there. So I believe that the more you give, or the more I give, the more I live. That doesn't necessarily mean money. That means my efforts, my thoughts, my ears to listen to other people, my prayers, and of course money too. So the reason why I was inspired to write the book, I think it's a great book. I got help from a professional writer to help me write the book. I had the story, he knew how to write a book, so together we had the synergy to make the book happen. And it's over 400,000 copies of the book nationwide. Some of the books have even gone to Mexico, the Bahamas, the Philippines. So it's really neat to see how the book Mentor, the Kid, and the CEO has inspired and influenced people's lives. So I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I think that's what the book does.
Okay, now let's talk about fear. So, because I deal with fear every day, I know you deal with fear. How does that look like when looking at all the milestones that you've made, you've accomplished in your life, like running across the nation, the marathons, the book, the business, going into, and also the lawsuit you had for your business. Like, how has that changed you, and like how have you overcome those compelling obstacles?
You got to go through hell. Don't stop. Keep moving.
Right.
So when we have fears, first thing is, whenever I have a fear, I'm thinking about me. And so it goes back to my philosophy: the more you give, the more you live. So if I'm trying to help someone else, or if I'm even trying to just serve God, I'm not thinking about me. Now, you're riding in my car, and I'm not a very good driver. So you should be in fear right now. At least you got your seatbelt on. A lot of times, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. It's our imagination. It's for playing this game over and over and over.
Right.
And one of the greatest ways to overcome fear is to have a desire for what you want to accomplish in your life and not focus on what you don't want. If you're riding a bicycle down a sidewalk and there's a brick in the middle of the sidewalk, if you focus on, I don't want to hit the brick, I don't want to hit the brick, you're probably going to hit the brick because you just see the brick in your mind. But if you see the brick in the sidewalk and you think, I need to go over to the left or I need to go over to the right so that I can continue riding my bicycle, that's what you want to do. So what is the desire that we want to have? If we think about, I don't want to fail, and I don't want to get F's in school, well, is that really what you want, or do you want to make great grades in school?
Right.
I don't want to be fat, or I want to be in great shape. I don't want to get fired, or I want to keep my job. I want to be promoted in my job. I don't want to go to jail. You want to be free.
Right.
You know, a lot of people that have been in jail, they're afraid, I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to go back to jail. And they keep focusing on what they don't want instead of focusing on what they want.
Right.
So the opposite of fear is desire of what you want in your life.
Desired outcome. Okay, so now people that inspired you in your life, like who are some of the guys or women in your life that you've actually got a chance, maybe you've gotten a chance to meet over time, or that stand out, that they are the model, or you admire them so much that you model your daily routine after? Is there anyone like that stands out? Because I know you went to Saddleback Church once, and I know that you're a big Rick Warren person. Is there anyone else out there?
There's a lot of people that have inspired me directly and indirectly. Directly by people like when I was in elementary school, there was a kid that was 3 or 4 years older than me. His name was Kirk Couch. And he and his mother and his little brother, they sold products door to door. And Kirk taught me how to sell when I was just a kid. I had an older brother. He showed me how to, get into the lawn mowing business. He had a job at a barber shop, and when he gave up the job as a shoe shine boy, I took that job. So my brother's been an inspiration. My dad's been an inspiration. When I was working as a shoe shine boy, I got hired by a guy that owned a restaurant. His name was Vern Eccles. He hired me as a dishwasher, promoted me to the busboy, and from the busboy promoted me to a waiter's position, and from the waiter's position promoted me to the night manager. And I was 14 years old in an established restaurant. At 14, I was the night manager. So he was one of them. Larry Butler was a mentor to me. Steve Butler was a mentor to me. Those are all people in direct. And then Mr. Hall has been a mentor to me. I have a current mentor. His name is Dan. Rod is another current mentor. So I've got mentors in my life, or inspirations in my life, people that I can actually talk to or see. And then another whole array of mentors are people that have written books, or books have been written about them. And then because of the YouTube and the internet, there are so many videos out there. There's a guy named A.L. Williams, Art Williams, and he's got a video, and it's called Just Do It.
Yeah, I love that one.
And he's got so much energy, and I learned from him. I learned from Tony Robbins. I learned from Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale, Stephen Covey.
That's good.
Just a whole list of people that I've learned from. So I'm always learning. Right now, I'm learning from a lady named Liz Wiseman, Wisman, and she wrote a book called Multipliers. And I was turned on to the book Multipliers by a guy that I was mentoring, and he went to a seminar and he picked up the book, And so he turned me on to that book. Another book. I mean, I've read so many books that really inspires me too.
That's awesome. Okay, so now, is there another book in the making to follow Mentor?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
There's a possibility that I will write Mentor, The Graduate, and The CEO.
That's awesome. I like that. Okay, now, where do you see yourself, like maybe 5 years from now? What's that look like?
There's a lot of transition going on in my life. I want to continue to be physically fit. I want to continue to grow in my relationship with my wife and my kids. I want to continue to grow in my relationship with God. I want to travel more. Saw a movie Friday night before last, Singapore. A lot of the movie was shot in Singapore. I've never been to Singapore. I've been to Jerusalem. I've been to Rwanda in Africa. I've been to Alaska. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to London. There's a lot of places I have not been yet. And air travel is so inexpensive. And I got a passport. And, I'll probably do a little bit more traveling. But at the same time, got a lot of business ideas, things that I want to do. I want to continue to grow my real estate business. So I don't know, 5 years from now, I don't really look that far out, Brian, as much as I look for, what am I going to do this upcoming week?
Right.
And what am I going to do this upcoming month? I am going to do some more running across the United States. We're doing a relay. This will be our third leg, and I'm going to start in October, and I'm going to run with 6 other people, and we're going to run from Maryville, Louisiana to Jacksonville, Florida, about 750 miles.
And this will be how many what number state is this going to be that you've ran?
Well, actually, we ran across almost the whole country. That's what they say. Texas is as big as any country. So we started in El Paso, Texas, and we ran to Maryville, Louisiana. That was about 1,100 miles, maybe 1,200 miles.
That's awesome.
We've run 1,200 miles so far. The total distance we're going to run is about 3,200 miles.
That's awesome. So you definitely live a purpose-driven life, and another thing that strikes me as just brilliant is the way you time management, the way your to-do list. You have an A list, a B list, C list, and a D list, and I just think that's so awesome. And then actually another guy I interviewed took on that concept and applies it to their lives today. So you are influencing people left and right, and inspiring people and encouraging people to take action in their lives so they can have a better tomorrow. So
winners take action.
Right.
You want to be successful, you got to take action.
That's awesome. And then, okay, so another question I have is, if you're a superhero, what superhero would you be?
If I was a superhero, what superhero would I be? I never thought of that. I don't really care to be a superhero.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Okay, so, but have you watched any Marvel comics or DC?
Man, I'm sorry I haven't.
Okay, so make up one. Make up with a superhero. If you had an alter ego that was a superhero, what kind of superhero would it be?
I don't think you're going to get an answer out of this.
Okay.
Because I really don't care to be a superhero.
Okay. Well, you are a superhero to me. You are a superhero in real life because you're doing the deal, and you've overcome. You're overcoming one day at a time your addiction, alcoholism, and how many years do you have sober?
I haven't drank any alcohol or done any drugs in over 35 years.
That's
I got
awesome.
clean when I was 26.
That's awesome. And
I don't really think about wanting to use drugs or alcohol. There's not like a compulsion or an obsession like there was 35 years ago, but I know I know I have a path of recovery, and part of my path of recovery is to share that with other people that want to be clean and sober.
Right.
And so that's why we're going out to this treatment center tonight. There's about 80 people there. And we'll go out there and see if we can help some people out, see if we can help their lives.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that ends it for this episode of Courage to Change. Man, Tom, thank you for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. This is Brian Wright with Tom Pace. It's Courage to Change. We out.